Sangha. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Om Ajnana Timirandasya
Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurumilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha.
Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swaparantikam Vandeyam Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sadhikatam Sagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sarvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Paramani Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhayeva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Prachaline Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Eshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So, welcome to our Bhakti Viksha discussion today. I'm hoping we can make it a discussion today versus a one-way dialogue. So, we'll try to rid ourselves of these red muted microphones and have some good discussion. We've been enduring almost 3 months, 2.5, coming on 3 months of this COVID shutdown, and now slowly things are opening up. So we look forward to resuming our socially distanced in-person Bhakti Rikshas starting next week, where we can enjoy association, still ensuring the adequate protocols and safety for everyone. But it'll be nice. Yes, we're very, very happy and excited, and all of us must have seen that we'll be kicking off this post-COVID era with a very wonderful celebration with the Lord of the Universe, Lord Jagannath. On Sunday, we'll be having a Pushpa Abhishek and celebrating Snan Purnima of Lord Jagannath, Lord Baldev, and Mother Subhadra as we celebrate coming out of this situation, again following all the detailed protocols and whatnot. So you all must have seen some messages on WhatsApp for how to participate, so please join and take advantage of this great mercy to your comfort level. And again, we'll be observing all of the adequate protocols in terms of socially Srila Prabhupada provided a 5-acre oasis of the Devasuddha Mandir. So we can have nice spread out distance, but still all participate in the most glorious celebration of Lord Jagannath with Baldev and Mother Subhadra. So very, very excited and happy to begin, and it's an auspicious way to begin our re-entry into this association and sangha. That is very important, and will continue to do so in a way that is also beneficial for us spiritually as well as for us physically. So we'll be observing all etiquette and protocols accordingly. So I'm very excited about that. So we continue our discussion today in chapter number 12 and verse number 8. So let's have some discussion now to start. What did we discuss last time? Topics. What did we discuss last time? Nothing, huh? Everybody is searching their memory banks. How about what verses we discussed last time?
12, 6, and 7.
12, 6, and 7. And what did Krishna say in 12, 6, and 7?
He's the swift deliverer of those in the ocean of birth and death. He will come and pick us up.
He is the swift deliverer. Krishna said, I am the swift deliverer. So not that he sends somebody, but that he personally comes and delivers his devotee. Anybody is inspired by such a statement of Krishna? That he is personally going to come to take us back home, back to Godhead? What more assurance we could need? What else? How did we describe the activities that generate this type of response from Krishna? What types of actions generate this personal attention to the Supreme Lord?
Devotional service.
What?
Devotional service.
What kind of devotional service?
Chanting.
Chanting. Yes, that is nice.
When we serve without being deviated.
We serve without being deviated. Consistent devotional service is very, very attractive to Krishna. Yes. We told a pastime of someone's wonderful service to Krishna. Anybody remember that pastime, or at least something we discussed about? Maybe we should just repeat last week's class then. There's all a distant memory. Nobody?
When the cowboy took the place of Radha.
Huh?
I think the cowboy switched places with Radha Rani.
Yeah, one of the cowherd boys took the place of Srimati Radharani to facilitate Krishna's pleasure, giving up his own enjoyment with Krishna on that very auspicious day. So this is the mood of the service to Krishna, is one is very selfless in their service. Not desiring anything of their own, but simply wanting to render service to the devotee. Very, very sweet and powerful means. Okay, so let us now discuss, I guess, then verse 8. There are no more recollections from last week. We'll see if we can create new recollections from this week's discussion. So verse 8, anybody would like to read the verse in purport? Just fix your mind upon me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and engage all your intelligence in me. Thus you will live in me always, without a doubt. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. One who is engaged in Lord Krishna's devotional service lives in a direct relationship with the Supreme Lord. So there is no doubt that his position is transcendental from the very beginning. A devotee does not live on the material plane. He lives in Krishna. The holy name of the Lord and the Lord are non-different. Therefore, when a devotee chants Hare Krishna, Krishna and his internal potency are dancing on the tongue of the devotee. When he offers food, Krishna directly accepts these eatables, and the devotee becomes Krishnaized by eating the remnants. One who does not engage in such service cannot understand how this is so. Although this is a process recommended in the Bhagavad Gita and in other Vedic literatures. So Krishna here is telling Arjuna, just fix your mind upon me, the Supreme Personality of God, and engage all your intelligence in me. And the result of that is, he says, you will live with me always, without a doubt. So, this engaging the mind in Krishna, to think about Krishna, it takes great attraction. If one is not attracted to Krishna, then how one can be thinking about Krishna? But when one has knowledge of Krishna, who is the Supreme Lord? What is his activities? His relationship with me? His different pastimes? Then one cannot help but become attracted. Because Krishna is all attractive. The name Krishna means all attractive. And what does all attractive mean? As it sounds, all attractive. It means whatever is attractive within the whole of the creation, both spiritual and material. It resides within Krishna. So if one has intelligence and they're looking for some attraction, where will they go? Where will you go? To Krishna. Why? Because he is the reservoir of all attractive features. Right? If you want money, you go to the bank. Why? Because the bank is the reservoir of money. If you want water, you don't go to a tree, you go to a lake, because it is a reservoir of water. So if you want to have some attraction to anything, the source of all of our attraction is Krishna. But without intelligence, what do? We try to find attractive things in separation from Krishna. But actually nothing exists separate from Krishna. So when we experience some attractive result in the material world, it is indirectly service to Krishna. Because all of Krishna's material energies are also coming from Krishna. We go to some beautiful, landscape and we observe, wow, beautiful nature. There's some attraction to that activity. But that beautiful nature is but Krishna's material energy. And he is the source of that beauty. He explained that in the 7th chapter, 10th chapter. Right? So he is the source of all attraction. So if one has intelligence, then one knows where to fix one's mind in the source of all attraction, and that is Krishna. But it takes great intelligence. Excuse me. So, Krishna is saying, engage all your intelligence in me. So this all your intelligence, it means one is exclusively focused in devotional service, not partially. If Krishna is the source of all happiness, of all attraction, then who with any intelligence would look elsewhere? If he is the source of everything, then by definition, anywhere else we would look would be just a byproduct of Krishna. Right? So basic, simple logic. If you have an opportunity to access the source, then you would never go to any other means. Right? So when one has intelligence to know that Krishna is all attractive, then this fixing the mind upon Krishna happens naturally. The businessman doesn't have to meditate through great austerity on his wealth. Why? Because he's attracted to his wealth. That meditation happens naturally because that's the source of his attraction. Day and night, he's thinking how I can make more and more wealth. The drunkard is attracted to intoxicants. And so day and night is thinking how I can acquire more intoxication. Because that is the nature of their attraction. But the pure devotee, they're so enamored with the Supreme Lord that this attraction happens naturally. One doesn't have to think, okay, it's time to meditate on Krishna. It happens naturally because there's such a deep attraction and love. And this attraction and love is unlike in the material world. In the material world, when we are attracted to something, what happens? It fades. It fades very quickly. Right? Every year on Black Friday, we become attracted to so many material objects. I want this, I want this, I want this. But 1 year later, we barely even remember what we got the year before. Our mind meditates on, I'm so much attracted to this material item. But when we get it, it gives so little happiness that we then go in search of the next one, and the next one, and the next one. Because it is all limited. But when one approaches Krishna, the happiness and attraction today one experiences is more than yesterday. And tomorrow will be more than today. The attraction is always increasing. Billions and trillions of years, and the attraction increases because Krishna is unlimitedly possessing all of these attractive qualities. Imagine how simple our life would be if we could be attracted to eating just rice dal sabji today more than yesterday. Same rice dal sabji. Has all the nutrients, all the health, everything perfectly balanced for a nutritious body. Imagine how simplified our life would be if we could eat that every day. And each day would be more attractive than the day before. I know Matajis would be very happy. No more trying to invent new recipes, find new things. Just do. Right? It doesn't exist anywhere in the material world. But with Krishna, with spiritual life, this attraction is always increasing. And that is the nature of transcendental happiness. So, Krishna here is speaking about a very high platform. Have the mind fixed on Krishna with all intelligence. So everything is singularly focused. But when one knows everything else in the whole of the creation is coming from Krishna himself, why would anyone with any intelligence look elsewhere? It is foolish. It is foolish. So, Prabhupada in this purport says that one is engaged in Krishna's service, lives in a direct relationship with the Supreme Lord. So this important word, direct relationship. How many of us want a direct relationship with Krishna? 1, 2, 3. Okay, 3. So, in the beginning of our Krishna conscious journey, we sometimes wonder, when will I see Krishna? Well, you can see Krishna every day, every moment. And Prabhupada gives some very vivid examples. That in spiritual life, one is directly engaging with Krishna by chanting his holy names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Now, Krishna is non-different from his names. Materially, this doesn't work. If I chant money, 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 doesn't mean I'll have money. Because the word money and the object money are different. If I chant water, 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 I'll not quench my thirst. Because the word water and the object water are different. But when we chant Hare Krishna, that is non-different from Krishna himself. And as Srila Prabhupada says, when a devotee chants Hare Krishna, Krishna and his internal potency. Who is his internal potency? Srimati Radharani. So Srimati Radharani is invoked by the word Hare, which is calling out Hara, as Srila Prabhupada explains. The energy of Krishna. And we have Krishna. So when we chant Hare Krishna, Radha and Krishna are dancing on our tongues. They're dancing on our tongues. But in the sadhaka platform, when we chant Hare Krishna, we may not see them dancing on our tongues. But actually they are. Because Krishna is non-different from his holy names. When you offer something to Krishna, you make some nice rice dal sabji or mandu vada and plantain balls and cutlass. I think that was this week's cooking demonstration. All these nice items. And you offer them to Krishna. You are inviting Krishna home for dinner. He is coming to your home to eat these foodstuffs that you have with so much love prepared for him. What more direct relationship we could want with Krishna? He is coming into our house and honoring the foodstuffs, eating the foodstuffs that you have prepared for him. We are calling out his name, and he is dancing on our tongue. He manifests himself in the deity form so that we may perform so many loving services to him. So the devotee is always in direct relationship with Krishna, not indirectly, not theoretically, but actually. This aspect of seeing, this idea of being fixed your mind upon Krishna That stage is called Ashakti, where there is attachment. So attachment to Krishna is a very high platform. It is the 7th step on the process from our initial faith to Krishna Prema. Shakti is the 7th step. So this happens at a very advanced platform. And how one becomes so attached to Krishna? Because with some initial faith in this process of devotional service, one begins to associate with devotees. And through this association, one then learns to practice the cleansing process of the heart and begins to practice devotional service. It's that 3rd step, bhajana kriya. And when one practices devotional service with great enthusiasm and dedication and determination, like anything we do with enthusiasm and dedication, the nice results come. So when one practices their sadhana with great determination and enthusiasm, then one becomes free of all the contaminants. These unwanted things in the heart, these anarthas, become eliminated from the heart. They're like weeds growing in the garden of the heart. They disrupt the desired plant from growing, the Bhakti Lata Bij, which we'll be discussing next week, in Thursday. So this 4th stage is Anartha Nivritti. We remove all these impurities. When the impurities are removed, when one knows there's nothing else in this world more attractive than Krishna, then one becomes fixed, Nishtha, in Krishna consciousness. Why fixed? Because all these other ideas, all these other pleasures are very less and pale in comparison to Krishna. So there are no more other desires. That is the cleansing of the heart. And when one becomes fixed, then one attains the taste, ruchi. And it is explained that when one has the taste of Krishna's names, that is when one actually perceives and sees Krishna dancing on their tongue. They experience the non-different nature between Krishna and His holy names. So it is at this stage of ruchi that the real taste comes. And one can actually see Krishna dancing on their tongue. Now Krishna is so beautiful, so attractive, that when you see Krishna, you cannot rip your eyes away from it. It's so beautiful and so attractive. The gopis were upset at Lord Brahma because he made these things called the eyelids. And when they flip, they disrupt the darshan of Krishna. Now, when we blink our eyes, do we notice that whatever we are looking at is disrupted? We cannot even perceive it. But the attraction to Krishna is so great that even that momentary disruption feels like 12 years or more. This is how intense the attraction is. Krishna is so beautiful that he himself once was walking in his palace, and a beautiful jewel was there. And he saw his reflection. And he stopped back and said, "Who is this beautiful person?" Even himself was captivated by his beauty. So intense and captivating. So when you chant Krishna's name and you see this beautiful form of Krishna dancing on your tongue, what will you do? You chant Hare Krishna and you see Radha Krishna dancing in your tongue. That's it? Done? I had my one darshan. I saw the Mona Lisa. Now I'm good. You don't want to see again. So what will you do? Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Ram Ram. And then you're done? No. Oh, I want to see again. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. And like this, one wants to see Krishna non-stop. And thus they become addicted, attached to Krishna. This is a Shakti. So once one has the taste of Krishna's darshan, one cannot have enough. One cannot have enough. So intensely pleasing and sweet. And so to see Krishna, one is constantly chanting his holy names. To invoke the direct relationship with him, dancing on his tongue. How Haridas Thakur could chant 192 rounds a day. Unless there was some intense ecstasy and pleasure from such activity, no one can continue for long periods of time. But now we know why. He was seeing Krishna. When Maya Devi herself came in the form of a personified woman to attract Haridas Thakur's attention in the dead of night, now we know why he could not be disturbed. Because he was looking at Krishna. What Krishna's inferior energy, illusory energy could be in the midst of Krishna? It is like a flashlight in the midst of the sun. Nothing. So Haridas Thakur was immersed in his direct relationship with Krishna. That there was no even possibility of his mind being deviated. Because he was fixed on Krishna. When Sachi Mata was cooking for Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, she would see Krishna and Balaram eating the foodstuffs. She was experiencing that. She could see it. She was on this purified platform. When we offer the food to Krishna, he's actually coming and eating it. Once one disciple asked Srila Prabhupada, do the deities actually eat what we offer? He said, yes. And the disciple asked, how do you know? And Prabhupada said, because I can see the deities eating. He could see them. Because he was in the pure state. Whenever he blinked his eyelids, he was seeing Radha Krishna. So this is the attraction that is intrinsic in all of us. To have this deep and intense attraction for Krishna. It is so powerful. It's just, if you imagine all the things that are beautiful and attractive in the whole world, and you added it all up, got out a calculator and added it up. All the things that are attractive. It would amount to just a tiny fraction of Krishna's attractiveness. We can't even contemplate it, but we can begin to experience it. So in our sadhaka stage, where we have not yet achieved this ruchi, this taste, we can with our intelligence understand this is fact, and it will come. As we cross through bhajana kriya, to anartha nivritti, to nishta, to ruchi. These stages will come. But one must be very sincere and enthusiastic in the process, in their sadhana. And by doing so, then one can become fixed. And thus one will always live with Krishna, even in the material world. One is never separated from the Supreme Lord in a direct relationship. And so this is this very beautiful verse from chapter 12, verse 8. So then in 9, Krishna is now going to say, well, if you can't fix your mind upon me without deviation, then follow the regular principles of bhakti yoga. Follow Vaidhi sadhana bhakti. Why? Because then soon you'll be attracted to Krishna. So Krishna is going to now, next week we'll discuss how we can achieve this state by following the purification process of devotional service. Okay? Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Antakoti Vaishnavrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna. Any questions or comments?
Mother Gaur Prabhu is asking, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Prabhu, if we engage all our intelligence on Him, does our mind and senses will not follow the intelligence and get fixed automatically on Him? Why Supreme Personality of Godhead specifically says to fix our mind and also engage our intelligence on Him?
Yeah, so the mind again is this reservoir of desires. But when the intelligence is very strong, then the intelligence will direct the mind to the right path. But the intelligence will say yes or no to the mind. Meaning the mind has desires. And sometimes there are good desires and sometimes there are bad desires. So good intelligence will ignore the bad desires, the things that are not productive for us. When the mind says, let's go out for party tonight, intelligence will say, no, I have to get up early and chant my rounds. When mind says, let's go and eat this thing, intelligence will say, no, it's not been offered to Krishna. But when the mind is full of thoughts of Krishna, then the intelligence actually doesn't have to say yes or no. Because the mind is only full of good thoughts, only full of thoughts of Krishna. But it takes good intelligence to fill the mind with thoughts of Krishna, with desires. Because in our impure state, it takes intelligence to know, I must rise early and chant my rounds nicely. I should render practical service to the Supreme Lord. I should abstain from certain activities. I should be very cautious not to deviate from the path. But why we don't sometimes take such strong precautions? Because we don't have full conviction. The mind will say, do this activity. Intelligence knows it's not right. I shouldn't do it. But without strong, firm intelligence, the mind will overtake at times. So, when Krishna is speaking about lust, he says lust has taken over the mind, the senses, and the intelligence. And he says you attack it from both sides. You shut off the senses and you use the mind to engage in bhakti. And then you will overcome lust. But again, for the devotee, the mind is full of Krishna already. No other thoughts. In that case, the intelligence has no extra activity to do. Because whatever thoughts come, they're all beautiful thoughts of Krishna. Okay? Any other comments or questions? It's coming primarily via email. The WhatsApp groups are some secondary groups, but we'll add you to those also. But the main, yeah, no problem. But the main for the Friday group is actually via email. We should probably create a WhatsApp group also, but somehow it hasn't come. But yeah, we'll add you to both, so you have it either way.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
And I can't wait to come back to your house for the association next week onwards.
I'm also looking forward to it very, very much.
Prabhu, you are not the only one. Everybody has been eagerly enjoying.
जी प्रभुजी आप सही कह रहे हो बिल्कुल.
One more question.
Good, good. I'm looking forward. Yeah, so we have one more question on our mind, it seems. Yes?
Prabhu, a comment out there. A very excellent class yet again, Prabhu. And sometimes these things, everybody in today's class, something that you think is very simple, very mundane is, I mean, mind. What is mind? What is intelligence? Seems to be very mundane. But, I mean, with the amount of complexity involved, and you make it so simple, Prabhu. Thank you very much. I mean, your mind, you can take it anywhere. You can use the intelligence for anything. Okay. It can be for simple materialistic pleasures or serve the true purpose of why we are here. So,
Yes.
thank you for leading us the right path and putting it so simply.
This is Srila Prabhupada's extraordinary gift to all of us. He has given us all these amazing analogies and examples to take the complicated and make it very digestible. So we're very grateful for Srila Prabhupada's very skillful presentation of this information. Yes, we have a question online.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, my understanding is when living entities transmigrate from one non-human birth to another non-human birth for millions of years based on their past deeds. I understand that they do not accumulate any karma, but will they burn karma before reaching this precious human birth with intelligence? Follow up to this, my understanding is, in that human birth with free will, we can chant and eliminate our past deeds completely and come to a neutral position. Then, with loving devotional service, only we can elevate ourselves out of the material planets and reach Golok Vrindavan. Is this the right understanding, Prabhu?
Who's asking?
Madan Prabhu.
So, when the living entity is in the human form of life, based on its activities, it accumulates karma. And the extent of that karma determines the extent of its next lives. So, for example, based on its activities, it may be destined that it must take 100 births as a dog, and 200 births as a horse, and 300 births as a housefly, and like this. And it's all based on direct proportion to the activities that were done in that human form of life. So when the living entity is in the dog or the bird or the fly or the horse, they are burning those karmas. 1 birth down, 2 births down, 3 births down, 4. And they're not adding any new karma. Because karma is only applied in the human form of life. Because when one has intelligence to decide, then one must become responsible for the actions. So their time in the non-human form of life is burning their karma. And when it's sufficiently burned, they will then come back to the human form of life. And then in the human form of life, there is again choice. What to do? Either I'm going to serve Krishna or I'm going to serve myself. And we get to decide what we want to do. And the consequences are there. So as one understands that I should serve the Supreme Lord, one begins to render devotional service to Krishna. Now, the purification of past sins does not need to occur prior to the development of the attraction to Krishna. So it is not after that, then one goes. But until one is fully pure of all their sinful reactions, meaning they have no more credits in their account, they cannot go back home, back to Godhead. Because
if there's a reaction to be taken, we have to come back and take it. So if we did something and there's a residual reaction, we have to come back and take it. So yes, until we eradicate all of our past sinful lives and reactions, then one has to keep coming back. But Krishna says, Aham tam sarva papema. Sarva, all sins. He doesn't say most or some. He says all of them. So by rendering devotional service, one can become very quickly free from all their past sins. And even in this human life, one can be in a liberated position, free from entanglement in the material world, of the material modes of nature. So, yes, until one is free of all their sins, they must remain here. But one practices devotional service and experiences the rasa of devotional service during the cleansing process. And that is the pure beauty of bhakti. It is the purifying process, and it is the end, the goal process. So one does bhakti to purify, and when purified, one does bhakti. That is why it is the eternal process. And remember, this process of learning to love Krishna, it is not that we have to go and find it. It is lying dormant within all of us. That is the nature of this living entity, is to have pure love and pure attraction for Krishna. That is our natural state. We are currently in our unnatural state, attracted to so many other things. So the purification process is not to go out and find deep in the forest this Krishna prema. It is sitting within our heart. And we simply have to bring it out, primarily by the process of good chanting. Okay? Thank you for your questions. Very nice. Any other comments or questions? Okay. So, thank you very much. So, meet again. I guess some will meet tomorrow, and otherwise we'll meet. You have one more?
Remind.
And just again a reminder, tomorrow we have, or Sunday we have a very wonderful inaugural festival with Lord Jagannath, Lord Baladev, and Mother Subhadra. And we'll pray.
What time is it at?
4:15. 4:15.
Oh, usual time. Okay.
Same time. So I look forward to celebrating with everybody. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna.